referee. So the formal exchanges between the two captains, Frankie de Jong standing in tonight, and Emre Can, who has been filling in at centre-back recently, normally a central midfielder, and he continues in that role this evening as he did in the last round as well. Of course, there is a bit of history between the two managers this evening. Hansi Flick replaced Niko Kovac, who's in charge of Borussia Dortmund, as coach of Bayern Munich back in November of 2019. Flick led Bayern to a treble in his first season, which included that infamous 8-2 victory in the one-off semi-final played in 2020 between Bayern and Barcelona, as Bayern went on to lift the trophy. So, the stage is set. Both teams are in their traditional home kits. Barcelona in the Blaugrana, the red and blue, and Dortmund in their all-yellow kit. They will kick off, they will shoot from right to left, and Barcelona from left to right. Barcelona 4 points clear at the top of the Liga. What a run they've been on recently. They are unbeaten in their last 22 games. Borussia Dortmund are 5 points off the pace in a bid to return to the competition next season. So really, as it stands, from a realistic point of view, the only way Borussia Dortmund will be playing Champions League football again next season is if they go all the way and win it. And Jules Koundé will have an early throw in from deep inside his own half, which he throws down the line, and it's headed back by Felix Mecha, who is back in the side for Dortmund this evening. He came on as a substitute against Freiburg in a 4-1 win at the weekend, having been missing since the end of January with a knee problem, so an important option for Niko Kovac to make use of tonight. He replaced Nuri Sahin as manager after he was sacked earlier on in the season. Now here's Robert Lewandowski in a dangerous position against his old team. Rafinha's to his left hand side, just on the edge of the penalty area, and back it goes to Pedri. And now to de Jong, as Dortmund organise themselves into a defensive shape. Over on the left hand side again with Balde, Pedri and de Jong back onto the halfway line with Inigo Martinez. Martinez looks up, uses Balde to his left hand side. Again it goes back behind the halfway line with Martinez and across to Pau Cubarsí, who's been a revelation since coming into the Barcelona team just over a year ago. Another product of La Masia, which has given us so many great players over the years. Bensebaini knocks the ball back for Dortmund, and there is the black and yellow in possession here. There is Bensebaini again, under pressure from 17-year-old Lamine Yamal on the near side, and Yamal has won the ball back here, and he takes the ball inside. It's Lewandowski into the penalty box trying to shake off Anton, who has to clear for a throw-in. Excellent pressure by the young superstar, one of the hottest talents in all of football right now, and he put Bensebaini under heaps of pressure there. Bensebaini stayed in after the challenge. He wanted a free kick. The referee wasn't interested. Barcelona showing their intent right from the off with just over 2 minutes played. Koundé's throw goes back down the line towards Cubarsí, and it's into the middle now with Martinez. Balde on the left hand side. Rafinha's in front of him, but it'll have to go back the way. Martinez gets it out wide to Rafinha. Good pass. Pedri 1-2 with Rafinha. Rafinha with a chance to get the ball across, and Bensebaini had to get there first to clear behind for a corner, which he does, and Barcelona will have the first set piece opportunity of the evening, as Rafinha back in the Barcelona side and already looking very threatening indeed. What a season he's had. Top scorer in the UEFA Champions League with 11 goals. Sergio Guirassy is only one behind him with 10. So what a battle that is, as the corner is delivered to the back post, far too much on it, and Dortmund will get the goal kick. But Hansi Flick will like the intent that his team has shown in the opening 3.5 minutes here in Montjuic. The new camp still under refurbishment. There was hope that they would be there by the end of this season, although that's not looking likely. The stadium itself won't actually be completed until next year, whatever happens. And here's Lewandowski, back heel, and is brought down, so he gets a free kick just inside his own half. And as Barcelona dominate the early stages, Martinez inside the Dortmund half as Balde looking for the ball on the left hand side. Then Pedri tries to link up with Rafinha, but it breaks down, and this is Brandt trying to find Guirassy, and the pass is cut out by De Jong. And here goes Balde down the left hand side with a bit of space to run into. Pass into Lewandowski, flick back to Pedri, now out wide to Lamine Yamal, who's into the penalty box. It's Yamal onto his left foot and forces the first save of the match as Kerbel beats the ball away. And Barcelona will try and come again with De Jong. And Fermin Lopez into the box, goes down, looks for a penalty. The referee very aggressively waves his finger to say absolutely no chance, as Dortmund just tried to clear their lines very briefly and get up the park, as Koundé clears back down the line on this near side to Yamal, who turns away from Bensebaini and checks himself back. And now Pedri and Martinez, but Barcelona looking really in the mood here. 4-1 aggregate victory over Benfica in the last 16 for Barcelona, who finished second in the league stage. And that was a Benfica team that... Lovely switch of play to this near side for Lamine Yamal. Barcelona looking buoyant here as Lamine Yamal does well. He's on the byline. Oh, and Yamal's shot across the face of goal and it goes wide. Wonderful play by the young Spaniard. And Yamal taking out Bensebaini again. Lewandowski was there for a very simple cut across pass, but Lamine Yamal decided to go for glory, and granted he was not far away. He had Kerbel beat, but the option was there for Lewandowski and he probably should have used it. Two good opportunities for Barcelona in the opening 6 minutes here. And Dortmund just have to try and relieve as much pressure as they can. Chance to get the ball out wide now to Gittins, but the pass has too much on it, and Barcelona immediately get possession again. Such a potent front line that Niko Kovac has started with tonight. Adeyemi, Guirassy and Gittins, plenty of goals in it. So much potential as well. But you can say the same about Barcelona with Rafinha, Lewandowski and Yamal. That sweet mix of experience and quality as Rafinha's released again down his left hand side, and he's into the box, and the cutback is there for Lewandowski, who forces a wonderful save by Kerbel. And Lewandowski dropped back to the edge of the penalty area. Rafinha picked him out perfectly, and Lewandowski's first time finish is tipped over the crossbar by the Dortmund goalkeeper. But Barcelona are finding lots of space out wide here at the moment, and Gregor Kerbel had to be alert. He was at fault for the first goal that Lille scored in the second leg of the last 16 tie, but that was a great save. And another corner now for Barcelona with just over 7 minutes on the clock, and Rafinha's going to take it on the left foot. Short to Pedri, out to the edge of the penalty area with Yamal. It goes back to Rafinha, who swings it in with power and pace, and Yamal picks it up on the loose ball and then goes for the curling effort on the left foot, but it's well off target this time, and the score remains 0-0. Barcelona have come racing out of the blocks here, and Niko Kovac will be hoping that his side can see out this early pressure and try and settle down into the game. As Kerbel hits the long goal kick up towards Guirassy, who wins his header. It will fall for Adeyemi on this left hand side, and maybe a first chance for Dortmund to attack now. Guirassy, Brandt, good play on the right hand side. This is Gittins. Gittins into the penalty box here. Gittins will try and get it across, and Balde blocks it and concedes the first Dortmund corner of the evening with 8 minutes gone. And the concern here for Barcelona, I think it's Pau Cubarsí who's done on the ground after a clash of heads there with Sergio Guirassy. But Cubarsy's back up onto his feet now. He's confident he's okay, and there's a shake of hands between him and Guirassy, which is good to see. And Dortmund will have this corner opportunity from the far side. What can Dortmund produce now as they look to test this Barcelona defence for the first time this evening? Swung into the middle of the box, it's away from Guirassy, and behind for a goal kick to beat everybody there, and a waste for Dortmund as they forage forward for the first time in the game. It does give you the indication we're up, or we're in for an absolute treat of a tie here in this quarter final. He's Kubarsi, and across to Martinez inside the Barcelona half, looks to launch the early ball out towards Rafinha, can't quite bring it down, and Insabiani moves it up to Adeyemi, flicks it back to Guirassy. Excellent play to hold it up, and then a first time ball is knocked well out of the reach of Adeyemi and all the way through to Szczesny. He has been magnificent since coming out of retirement recently. Minutes played. Barcelona 0, Borussia Dortmund 0. It's Frankie de Jong wearing the captain's armband for Barcelona this evening. Pedri trying to switch it out to the left hand side with Rafinha, but put a bit too much on it. Throw in on this far side. Back comes Gittins to pick it up. Immediately pressed pretty intensely. Martinez in the battle with Guirassy, who wins it. Guirassy over on the far side. A couple of players around him and wins the throw in. Well, there does the striker. Speaking of Szczesny, he's kept 10 clean sheets in 20 games in all competitions. Absolutely astonishing for the former Polish international. Chan, good pass up to Chukwuemeka, but Dortmund lose out, and Baldi picks up and moves into the Dortmund half of the field on the far side. Rafinha into the middle now with Pedri. Touch back by Fermin Lopez. De Jong racing forward. Rafinha has Baldi making the run on the left hand side, and sliding in first is Julian Ryerson, but only to concede a throw in deep inside his own territory. Baldi looks for options from the throw in. Pedri makes himself available, so does Rafinha. He gets it, gives it back to Baldi. Baldi has De Jong inside him and he uses him. De Jong turns away from the Dortmund goal, and it's good pressing play by Brandt to keep a close eye on him. Martinez slows it right down for Barcelona. Dortmund trying to keep tabs with every Barcelona player in the midfield area. Kubarsi, whose right hand side is Koundé. Koundé has Adeyemi right in front of him. Pass goes up to Pedri, lovely control, manages to keep the ball. Yamal picks up the loose ball and then runs away from Bensebaini again. Great pass through to Rafinha, and Rafinha gets away from one man but won't get away from Anton, and then it's cleared away by Kurbel, but it's going to come again here for Barcelona as Pedri then gives it away temporarily to Chukwuemeka, who couldn't bring the ball under control, and the throw-in goes to Barcelona. Chukwuemeka, one of the scorers for Dortmund at the weekend, wasn't expected to start this evening, but Niko Kovac showing his trust in the young midfielder. Koundé picks up the switch from Martinez, forward to Lamine Yamal, and Koundé with a bit of space to run into, gets away from Ryerson. He can't find Blaugrana's shirt and gives the ball away with his forward pass. Brandt. Now Ryerson comes forward on the right hand side as Gittins ahead of him, up against Alejandro Baldi. Gittins into the penalty box here. Ryerson continues to support on the right hand side, looks across in towards Adeyemi, does head it down, cleared by Kubarsi, and then picked up by Anton. Can't get down the left hand side, and Yamal intercepts it. Then passes the ball out of play. And there will be a throw-in to Dortmund on the halfway line on this near side. 14 minutes gone. In fact, the ball has gone Barcelona's way. He's Kubarsi again, inside his own penalty area. Cross to the left-hand side with Martinez. Balde starting to make his run out wide, and he gets it now, and he's got, again, some space to run into. Ball across Lewandowski, first time pass for Rafinha, well intercepted by Emre Can, and he had to get there first. Absolutely vital. Here's Mecha. And Chukwuemeka now. Dortmund with a bit of space to play with themselves now. Early cross is a good one for Guirassy, and he just misses the ball, but there is an offside flag up. And the free kick goes Barcelona's way. Good ball in by Brand, but Guirassy was offside all the way, and he didn't have to be. He was easily able to check his run as he got ahead of Kubarsi. 15 minutes gone, and it remains 0-0, but Barcelona have had a couple of really good early opportunities, and Kubal's already been forced to make an excellent save from the former Dortmund man, Robert Lewandowski. He comes into the game this evening with 38 goals in all competitions as Rafinha is once again released on his left-hand side into the box. Good challenge by Ben Sibiani, but he will concede another corner to Barcelona. It's actually Emre Can who got in there first, ahead of the Brazilian, who has been outstanding this season. I don't think anyone ever expected him to make the impact that he has since his move from Leeds United. Pedri picks up on the edge of the box, whips the cross in, comes out to Rafinha from the clearance. Emre Can gets his head onto it, might break for Dortmund here, and there's no free kick as Balde looked to catch. I think it was Gittins as Dortmund tried to counter-attack, but the referee was not interested. It was actually Chukwuemeka, and Emre Can is having a word with Espanescas. The referee is certainly looked like Balde tripped Chukwuemeka up there. Clearly catches him on the shin, and the referee does Barcelona a big favour there. I think there was a quick VAR check to see if there was anything red card worthy in it, but I don't think there ever was. But it certainly should have been a free kick, which VAR, as you all know, cannot rule on. Unless a penalty's been awarded and it's actually outside the box. But Barcelona certainly get away with one there because Dortmund looked like they had a big opportunity on the counter. Dortmund have just managed to frustrate Barcelona slightly over the last 10 minutes or so, and allowed the game to settle down because Barcelona came out at 100 miles an hour. Here's Frankie de Jong. Balde on the left hand side. Barcelona really liking that opportunity to attack to Dortmund's right. Kubarsi on the halfway line now. Now over to the right hand side it is for Barcelona with Lamine Yamal. Pass inside to de Jong. And Pedri. And Rafinha has got Balde out to his left. Lovely play by Rafinha. And he'll get it back now from Balde. Looks to cross over Kubel, and Ben Sibiani had no choice but to head behind at the back post for another corner as he did not know what was going on behind him. Good link-up play between Balde and Rafinha on the left-hand side. Quick corner taken by Lamine Yamal to Rafinha. I wonder if that came off a hand there as Rafinha tried the cross, which was blocked. Picked up by Gittins, sends a long one forward towards Adeyemi. Battling with Balde, and de Jong knocks it back onto the 18-yard line with Szczesny. And I think a free kick has actually been awarded to Barcelona for a coming together between Karim Adeyemi and Frankie de Jong there. Barcelona get the free kick. Yeah, Adeyemi just tripping up de Jong, quite unnecessary there, I would say. And Adeyemi might have been lucky to escape a yellow card there. And so We'll resume with Pau Cubarsí taking a free kick about midway through his own half here. He's going to leave it for De Jong, who will give it to Cubarsí behind him, and now to Szczesny in the penalty area, and knocked out to his left hand side with Martinez. Balde ahead of him. Balde steps up the pace. Balde, this is a great run. Balde's into the box. Lays it off for Rafinha, tries to cut back, well blocked. And an offside flag is up as well, so Dortmund will have the free kick just inside their own 18-yard box. Robert Lewandowski played under Niko Kovac during his Bayern days for about a year and a half. Scored 103 goals in 187 matches for Dortmund before making that move to Bayern back in 2014, where he won everything. Plenty of Bundesliga titles, Champions League in there as well in 2020, as I mentioned earlier on. And looking to do so again with Barcelona, has 9 goals in the Champions League this season, does the poll. 20 minutes gone here in Montjuic. Barcelona 0, Borussia Dortmund 0. Lewandowski drops in to pick up possession here. Balde and De Jong. Cubarsí coming into the Dortmund half of the field now. Forward to Fermin Lopez. Koundé to his right. Back to Fermin. De Jong and Martinez. Balde to his left again. Pedri's just inside him if he wants to use him. Goes for the overlapping run, but it goes back to De Jong. Martinez. Pedri. De Jong. Across to Koundé. Cubarsí looking for Yamal. Flicked on with the head to Fermin Lopez. Tries to find Koundé on the overlap. Good defending by Chukwuemeka. Now Adeyemi goes up towards Brandt. Brandt gets the flick on ahead of Martinez, but Balde steps in and knocks it back coolly to Szczesny on the edge of the 18-yard area. Here's Pau Cubarsí. Barcelona certainly with the better possession so far and the better chances. Balde. Patient stuff from Barcelona now, not quite as fast paced as it was in the opening 5 minutes. Cubarsí. De Jong. De Jong and Martinez. Into space now for Balde. Just a bit too much space though, and that allowed Rierson to steal in and win back possession for Dortmund. Chan's long clearance will try and pick out the run of Guirassy, but it's intercepted well by De Jong. A lovely pass forward to Pedri. Gets some applause from the home support here in the Olympic Stadium. Koundé. Lamine Yamal takes the ball inside, gets the flick back from Koundé. He can't give it back though. Lamine Yamal, sliding challenge from De Jong. Looked like he'd won the ball back, but the referee doesn't think so as he caught his man there. It was Guirassy, just put a bit too much into the challenge, did the Barcelona captain, but so I don't think there was anything wrong with that. He clearly takes the ball. That's a bit of a follow through, but there's nothing De Jong can really do about that, and he didn't slide in at any real pace. Quite harsh for Barcelona to concede the free kick there, but Dortmund don't do anything with it. Give it away to Yamal. Ball goes through towards Lewandowski with just a bit too much on it. Kurbel picks up and throws out to Rierson. Chukwuemeka. Koundé intercepts, and now Lamine Yamal picks up again. Pressed immediately by Ben Sebaini, and he concedes a free kick. Lamine Yamal calls for a yellow card, which he really should not do. But Barcelona will have the free kick as Ben Sebaini had just a bit too much of Lamine Yamal's shirt there for the referee's liking. 23 gone now. Barcelona chasing the opening goal. Martinez. Pedri whips it out towards Lamine Yamal, headed back by Ben Sebaini. Adeyemi is going to try and get away from Koundé, but the push there from Adeyemi is punished not just with a free kick, but also the first yellow card of the evening for Karim Adeyemi. Adeyemi frustrated that he wasn't going to be able to take the ball with him. I do wonder if Koundé was doing just as much to Adeyemi as Adeyemi was to him. And again, maybe a bit harsh there. Not just the free kick, but potentially the yellow card as well. But that's the decision that the referee has made. Koundé's dreads being pulled, or at least that's the accusation, there by the Barcelona fullback. So here's a chance now to get the ball into the box. This time from the free kick situation. Fermin Lopez will send it in towards the back post, head of the cross, and Kubarsi's flick is in. Rafinha got a touch at the end, but either way, Barcelona are in front. And it's Pau Kubarsi, one right off the training ground for Barcelona. His first Champions League goal, and it's the two centre-backs linking up. Fermin Lopez's free kick out to the back post, a good header on by Inigo Martinez, and Pau Kubarsi sliding to get onto it. Did enough to get it over the line. Just want to check that Rafinha didn't touch this in, because if he did, then he was offside. And I do wonder if this one's going to come back. Kubarsi's touch is on target, I would say, but Rafinha just touches it on the line before it's all the way over. And I think he was offside when Kubarsi got his touch. So what will VAR do here? I think it's definitely going in if he doesn't touch it, but the problem is if he did touch it, then VAR might not give the benefit of the doubt. It's really, really close as to if Rafinha's onside. We've just seen an angle there where they've frozen the image, and all eyes now on Espanescas to see if this goal will stand. Dennis Higler is the video assistant referee from the Netherlands, and he is tasked with making a decision here to rule on this. 26 minutes gone. Barcelona, I think they've gone ahead through Pau Kubarsi. It's a deserved lead. Rafinha did not need to touch the ball, that was going in. And maybe it's just instinct that he slides to make sure it goes in, but he did not need to, and the goal stands. So Rafinha, at the very least, judged to be onside, and Barcelona do have the lead through Kubarsi, his first Champions League goal. It was close. It'll be interesting to see any images from the VAR process. Fermin Lopez has gone down here holding his leg, and Karim Adeyemi is having a few words with him. So there was a coming together just off the ball when Adeyemi had a bit of a stamp there, well off the ball. And Karim Adeyemi, remember, has just been shown a yellow card, and he could be in a bit of trouble here. A free kick was given. The referee himself hasn't shown a yellow card. Now, of course, we know VAR cannot issue any yellow card. It can only issue a straight red. I don't think this is going to be enough for a yellow in itself. I think Karim Adeyemi, though, is lucky that the referee has shown a fair amount of leniency there, because a challenge like that straight after picking up a yellow is folly in the extreme. And we're just having a look here, and Rafinha was onside when the ball was flicked on by Pau Kubarsi, so no concern there. The goal always going to stand once it was looked at, although Rafinha might be told rather quietly by his manager just to be careful in future in a situation like that. And the goal is credited to Rafinha, so Pau Kubarsi will not have his first Champions League goal just yet. That's Rafinha's 17th goal contribution overall in the Champions League this season, his 12th Champions League goal of the campaign, and his 28th goal in all competitions. Absolutely astonishing numbers from the Brazilian, and he will be credited with the goal that's put Barcelona in front. And Dortmund now have a duty to try and respond, but Lamine Yamal's going to pick up this pass. He's got Rafinha to his left-hand side, can't quite nail the cross though, and Kerbal can scramble to pick up. Lamine Yamal probably had a bit more time than he realised as the ball was played through to him. As Dortmund are caught totally unawares there. Koundé knocking it back coolly to Szczesny, keeping Barcelona ticking over in possession. Alejandro Balde on this left hand side now. Can't say that Barcelona don't deserve to be ahead. They've controlled the game so far. They had the best chances. The only save of the match has come from Gregor Kobel. Almost fell kindly there from Pedri, or to Pedri, from a deflected pass. But now here comes Dortmund with Mecha and Adeyemi on the left hand side, and Koundé thinks he's won a goal kick, and he has, inside his own box. Good defending by Jules Koundé. Karim Adeyemi is going to have to try and screw his head on. He put himself in a very dangerous situation there, didn't he? Barca in the penalty box, he will be cursing anything that he can to that goal when he finds out that that goal has not been given to him. Not the most important thing in the world, of course, is either way the goal counted. So half an hour played in Montjuic, high above the city of Barcelona, and Barcelona lead by a goal to nil in this Champions League quarter-final first leg. Wins for Inter and Arsenal last night. Rafinha, mistake there by Anton, and Barcelona almost capitalising, but Lewandowski attempting a shot which is well off target in the end, and a goal kick for Borussia Dortmund. That's a really good touch from Pau Cubarsí for the goal. It's just a shame that it will not be credited to him. He did his job in the situation there. Chukwuemeka, lovely play. Ball out to Adeyemi, and free kick is actually gone Barcelona's way here as Cubarsí is caught by Chukwuemeka, and nothing is really going in Dortmund's favour at all at the moment. And yeah, Chukwuemeka just catching Cubarsí very late after releasing the ball. It's maybe a bit harsh on Chukwuemeka, it's totally accidental. These days, if you make a challenge like that, it's always going to go against the player on the slide. Niko Kovac is just having a conversation with the Norwegian, the fourth official, to that effect, that it is harsh. What else could Carney Chukwuemeka do? But the free kick was given. Hansi Flick has won all 6 of his meetings with Borussia Dortmund before this evening, across his spells with Bayern and now at Barcelona. It's his best 100% record against an opponent during that period, and he's averaged 3 goals per game against them, 18 in total, and netted at least 3 in 5 of the 6 matches. And could be more trouble for Dortmund here as Rafinha now has plenty of options in front of them. One of them is Lewandowski, wasn't the best pass, and in the touch couldn't rescue the situation. Comes back though to Martinez and now to Rafinha, and Barcelona are just winning all the second balls right now. They've got control of the midfield, and it's really showing at the moment. Rafinha, Balde and Pedri. Pedri turns towards the right hand side. Now Jules Koundé. De Jong out to Lamine Yamal. Koundé has to go back to Szczesny. First time pass out to Martinez as Dortmund do try and push up here and get on the counter press. Lewandowski trying to turn away, gets it all wrong, and here's Guirassy on the edge of the box, and Adeyemi with a volley, blocked by Koundé. Now it's Chukwuemeka trying for the cut back towards Adeyemi, but it's misplaced, and now De Jong gets it up to Lamine Yamal, and Barcelona back on the counter again. It's Yamal now up against Bensebaini. Yamal, lovely pass through to Rafinha, and his finish is wide. You can see the pace though that Barcelona have on the counter attack. Rafinha just couldn't catch the finish. He was on the slide. But Lamine Yamal, so direct when he goes forward, so potent. What a player. Now here's Chukwuemeka though, racing towards goal, trying to link up with Guirassy, and whacked out of play on this near side by Alejandro Balde, and I mean whacked. Some power in the clearance there. Dortmund throw on this near side. Remy Vincibiani comes forward to take it. Just over 10 minutes of the first half remaining. I am Daniel Bowers. This is Barcelona against Borussia Dortmund in the quarter-final of the Champions League. First leg, Barca lead by a 1-0. Throwing into Adeyemi in the box, trying to turn Koundé, but Koundé had it well scouted. Ball goes up towards Lewandowski. Can he bring it down? No. Rierson's there to win it. Lovely pass up the line to Vincibiani. Links up with Guirassy, and now Adeyemi on this left-hand side. Dortmund have to show a bit more in attack here. Frenkie de Jong picks the ball in play on this near side, and then Koundé turned away from Adeyemi. It's a very intriguing battle. But here is a chance now for Guirassy. Oh, he completely missed his kick. Inside the penalty box, the ball fell to him, but it's like he took his eyes off it for just a millisecond. I'm not sure if he would have been offside, as Chukwuemeka played the ball through to him. I think he just stayed on, but he missed his kick. Oh, what a chance that is. It would have been the first chance of the evening for Dortmund, and Serhou Guirassy, who has been in lightning form this season. Well, I've said Pau Cubarsí will be cursing his luck that that goal will be taken away from him. Serhou Guirassy will be doing the same. He was effectively one-on-one with Szczesny, but he just took his eye off of the ball for just enough time, I think, to completely miss the ball from the finish. That's not a bad ball out to the right-hand side for Gittins. If he can keep it in, he just won't. Difficult for him to get into the game, a young Englishman so far. So much excitement about him. Just a note from the other game being played this evening in the Champions League quarter-finals. Aston Villa have taken the lead against Paris Saint-Germain. Morgan Rogers has opened the scoring, and Aston Villa have a priceless goal in the Parc des Princes. What a run they are on. What a job Unai Emery is doing at Villa Park. Remember, the winner of that tie would go on to play the winner of Arsenal against Real Madrid. So, as it stands, we'd be looking at an all-English semi-final, and I don't think those are the two teams that everyone would have been talking about playing each other. Certainly not Aston Villa, with greatest respect for the villains, but they've been magnificent this season in this competition. So have Barcelona, and they are in control of this game and have the lead here. Inigo Martinez in possession. And Barcelona, with that goal, he can be patient. And Alejandro Balde has the ability to get the pace on whenever he fancies it. Misting will check back and give it to Inigo Martinez on the halfway line. Steps into the Dortmund half. De Jong, lovely first time pass to Pedri, who turns away from one man. Gets out to Lamine Yamal on the right hand side. Yamal, curling cross, deflected, almost fell into the path of Lewandowski. Good defending though by Rierson. Gets the ball out to Brandt, and then the referee is in the way of his attempted pass, and the game will have to restart with a drop ball. An apology from the referee. Although I think Barcelona might be grateful for that accidental intervention from Espanescas. There's a big round of applause around the stadium when play had to stop there. It's completely accidental from the referee, just trying to get himself into position. Nancy Flick still rather animated on the touchline despite his side's lead. Here's Gittins now, right hand side. Early ball in is a pretty poor one, all told, and Wojciech Szczesny didn't really have to catch the ball, it just fell into his hands. Martinez for Barcelona now, and they are in real control here, Barcelona. Given away though to Rierson, and he goes back to Kerbal. The only goalkeeper to be tested so far. Szczesny hasn't had a save to make yet. Gittins now for Dortmund. Nice play across the middle there. Out to the left hand side with Ben Sabiani. Got plenty of options to his right hand side. Ball goes in to Chukwuemeka, who races into the box. Chukwuemeka trying to squeeze the ball through towards Guirassy. Couldn't manage it, and De Jong emerges with the ball here. And now it's Fermin Lopez. And Rafinha peels out to the left hand side. Rafinha up against Rierson into the penalty box. Rafinha with the chance and in towards Lewandowski, and the overhead kick attempt is straight into the hands of Kurbel. But again, Barcelona look very lethal on the counter-attack. And when Rafinha is able to peel into space, which he's finding very easy at the moment, I have to say, Dortmund look very vulnerable indeed. Dortmund remain just a goal behind though. Nice pass for Chukwuemeka. Deep into the Barcelona half now with Adeyemi taking on Koundé. Adeyemi does get his cross in. It might fall here for Chukwuemeka. Great block made by Kubarsi. Edge of the box with Gittins, whose shot is a pretty simple one for Szczesny to take in, diving to his left hand side. But Dortmund really starting to show a bit of life on the attack here. Nothing to test Szczesny in the end. Better from Dortmund, much better indeed. Into the final 5 minutes of the first half. Wow, lovely touch for De Jong. Tries to link up with Fermin Lopez, had a bit too much on it. Rierson does well to win the throw in on this near side. And I mentioned that Aston Villa goal a few moments ago. PSG haven't taken too long to respond. Desiree Doué, another young player who's really bursting onto the scene, has equalised for PSG in the French capital. And the winner of this tie will meet the winner of Inter against Bayern in the semi-finals, and it is Inter who have the advantage there after a very dramatic ending to affairs at the Allianz Arena last night. Thomas Müller scored a very late equaliser which looked like it was going to take both sides level into the second leg at the San Siro next week, but maybe the Fratesi had different ideas, scoring an even later winner to give Inter the advantage going into that second leg in Milan next week. Here's Inigo Martinez for Barcelona, out to the left hand side again with Balde. Barcelona don't ever look under any real pressure in possession, and knocking it about nicely. They're enjoying themselves out there. De Jong, Pedri and Martinez, and Balde again on this left hand side. Balde will knock it backwards towards Inigo Martinez. Kubarsi. Now Lamine Yamal waits for it on the right hand side and gets it. Back to Kubarsi. Lopez. Martinez on the halfway line here. Home crowd enjoying what they're seeing so far. Martinez, nice pass out to Balde. Space opening up again here for Barcelona. Pedri, pressed by Mecha. De Jong, Pedri, and Balde, and now Rafinha. Give it back to Balde. Over on that far side. Pedri. Martinez. Balde. Good pass inside to Rafinha. Back to Pedri. And across now to Kubarsi. Work back out to the right hand side with Lamine Yamal. Koundé goes ahead of him. Lamine Yamal's pass though is inside to Fermin. De Jong. And across to Martinez. Balde. De Jong. De Jong on the ball still. Pedri gives it back to De Jong and just misplaces his layoff for Rafinha, but Lamine Yamal's been picked out brilliantly here. Gets the cut back to Rafinha on the edge of the box. And Fermin's effort is a team one in the end from just outside the penalty area. Left footer and a daisy cutter on the midfielder. Super patient stuff though from Barcelona, trying to pull Dortmund from one side to another before finding the opportunity to play the killer pass. It's not always the most exciting football to watch, but it's often easy on the eye, that's for sure. Here's Gittins. Strong challenge by Martinez to concede the throw-in on the far side of the field. Final minute of the 45 in Montjuic. And it is Barcelona who have the lead through Rafinha with his 12th Champions League goal of the season. And that's the difference here at the moment. Here's Ben Sebaini though. He's got Adeyemi waiting on the left hand side, a chance to get the cross of Sebaini. Oh, brilliant delivery, and it just couldn't connect with Guirassy. And Dortmund, well, they've had a couple of half opportunities, but it does look like they're going to go in behind here. Wonderful delivery from Adeyemi, and Guirassy just needed to time his run slightly better to maybe half a millisecond. A minute is added on at the end of this half. But Barcelona's backline will not feel like it's really been severely tested yet, and that will certainly be a hugely pleasing aspect of the first half performance for Hansi Flick. Barcelona now, still a bit of defending to do. Here's Guirassy in the penalty box, onto his left foot, powerful effort, hits the side netting. Some in the stadium might have thought that had ended up inside the net. Guirassy just got the better that time of Kubarsi, just stayed onside as the ball came through to him. Nice drop with the shoulder onto his left foot, away from Kubarsi, and then his shot unleashed, trying to catch the Szczesny out at his near post, but he could only find the wrong side of the net. But that will give the Dortmund support a little bit of encouragement as we reach the half-time mark at the Olympic Stadium in Montjuic, and it is Barcelona who will go into the dressing rooms with that 1-0 lead, and it is courtesy of their Brazilian Rafinha, who is having a magnificent season. Pau Kubarsi flicking the ball towards goal. It was going in. Rafinha got the last touch though. He was onside as it came through to him, so the goal was allowed to stand. Barcelona have dominated possession, haven't created a whole host of chances, but they have forced a really good save from Gregor Kobel as well. Dortmund showing some signs of life in an attacking sense towards the half-time break, but it is the home side with a deserved lead in the Catalan capital. At the break, it is Barcelona 1, Borussia Dortmund 0, and we'll be back for the second half in a few minutes' time. Don't go too far.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and